Joy, and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be working on our harvest ornament. And if you watched any of the other videos, these are similar to the Easter egg ones that we did, only we're going to do them with harvest colors, and then we're also going to add that brown to it to kind of give it that crisp fall look. So these are really fun, and I call this method that I'm doing a twice melted method, and it's done with the Crayola crayons. And you're not familiar with my process, jump over to my webpage at miriamjoy.com, and on there's a YouTube link, and the first video is how to do the basics of the Crayola crayon, or what I call to is the wax design. Now I started with a Coyote gourd, and we do have these, and we do sell them on our website. And what was really great about this, they're about the first gourd that is perfectly round and ornamental size for Christmas ornaments or different things like that. So it's a nice round gourd. And to put the hanger on, I take my hanger, I loop it through my, I can't remember what this is called, a bead cap. And what I do, I don't glue these on, because if the glue is heated up with our heat gun, it will melt and fall off. So what I do is I put my bead caps on with quick wood, and I just take the smallest amount I can, I knead it, and because the knead activates it, and then I put a tiny piece on, and usually I do several at a time, because even cutting a small piece off. And I also put just a dab, just a tiny dot of E6000, and I put it on, and I do like 3 or 4. That's about the smallest amount you can make. And in an hour, they are exactly hard, so you can go right to your ornaments and don't have to worry about waiting for like the E6000 to dry overnight or whatever. And we also carry the quick wood as well on our site, so that's a really nice product to have, and I use it in a lot of my videos as well, especially the holiday videos. So check that out, and check out other YouTube videos that we have for the quick wood. So another thing that I use, and I should have brought a fresh brush with me, is I use what I refer to as my stipple brush. Now this one has brown paint on it and doesn't look real pretty, and we make them cheap enough that you can buy one for each color, and I don't worry about cleaning them out. I hate to be a big selling person here, but we do carry them on our website. We just want everything there for you. So if you go to a product, you can have everything you're not looking for, or you can't do it because you can't find it. Now, I put the crayons in my melting pots like normal, and when you're doing this, you know how we usually keep it in a little tiny well. You can have it over the well. This is one time when you're doing the twice melted, you could have a little bit more crayon in the well. That is okay. And I'm going to stick with colors that are fall, like orange, dandelion, red, orange. I also going to bring some yellow green in, and a little bit of purple too. We find all of those in our harvest colors. So I set my my brushes down into my well and get them warm, and then they're kind of workable. They're not stiff, and you've got all of your color in them. So I'm going to dip it into my crayon, and we're going to start to decorate this guy. And what we want to simply do is fill in all of the empty spots. And I'm just going to go from color to color to color. If you want not as many colors, then do like a strip down and don't do as many colors. The more colorful you want the ball, the more little spots you do. And we're going to melt from the top down, so also think about that. And if you get any of your little guys, hairs, remove those out. And I am going to do a little bit of brown, even though I'm going to be stippling, or we're going to be using our texture brush on it. I'm going to give it some texture, but I am going to use a little bit of brown on my gourd as well. I found out that when I'm doing my fall stuff, you really need that brown. It just kind of ties it in, because fall is a time when everything is kind of dying and going dormant, so you need to show that. And you see how easy this is going on. Now, you also can put this on with one of your wax design tools, but it takes a lot longer to put that on than it does with just a regular brush here, and I'll show you that in a minute. And like I said, we just make those inexpensive enough that you can have one for each color. Now, if you were putting it on, you'd have to come in here and you would apply it. And see, it can be done, but it's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit thicker too, and probably take a little bit more of your crayon. Now this does take more crayon because we're doing it solid than you're used to working with. And we're just going to finish filling in all of our holes here. Okay, I'm going to use my purple, and I'm going to fill in some of the holes and just get that all solid, because I don't want quite as much purple. But you do want every little bit of that covered, because where you don't cover it with the wax, it has a tendency not to melt on that, so you want to make sure that you get that melted. And you can see this one's going to be kind of bright and colorful compared to one that was just more few colors and kind of plain. Okay, once you've got all of your wax on, we're going to go over and we're going to melt it with our heat gun. And I have a tool that it is on, and this was actually, I picked it up at Joann's, and was actually to hang your flowering plant on. There are different items, and I believe Bonnie Gibson may sell one for your Dremel tool that would work really well. You want something that you can hook up to your table. Your heat gun is going to get very, very hot, and you want to make sure that you're really careful with that. And have it over the top of a tray. I would recommend a plastic tray that doesn't get real warm, but we're going to drip and stuff, so it's going to make a little bit of a mess, so we want that on a tray as well. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to just heat up my bottom just a little bit, and then I'm going to start from the top. And I think people have a tendency to over melt their ornaments, and we don't want to do that. We kind of want to get it to where it is melting, and we want to work our way down. You don't want to leave it where the little melted part shows a drip. You want to melt it past that. But see how really neat and colorful this is starting to become? You want it smooth, you do not want it rough. So any of the rough parts, we want to just smooth out, melt down just a little bit more. Isn't that really starting to look really neat? And some colors take a little bit longer to melt than other colors do. There's a little bit of a hair from our brush, and you don't want to turn it upside down because your colors are going to start to melt onto the top part, or run onto the top part. Now I'm going to take my texture brush and insert, and I want it warm, but not where it's melty, and we're just going to add some brown texture to it. This is to give it that crisp fall look. Now we didn't want to do it before because we don't want to melt it to the extreme that we melted our other parts, because we don't want one big blur. And see, this was a little bit too warm and I kind of scratched it. You don't want to scratch it. We just want to put it on top. And then once we have that on, we're just going to melt it just a tad, just so it's not rough, but we're not going to move it. We don't want it to get it to a moving point. Right there, see, that's perfect. You can see it just starts to expand when it's melted and it gets that shiny look. Okay, there is our harvest ornament. And you can do all kinds of things with this. See, this one was really simple. I only did a few colors on it. I didn't make it very complicated. You also could take your tool and swirl it around a bit. Now, if you get a drip like that, just kind of come in with your finger, smooth it off. And I'm going to hang that guy there and let him dry for just a minute. Once they're done, we want to come in and we want to add our lacquer over the top of them. It gives it a plastic coating which really protects it, as well as gives it that real nice, wonderful shine color. What I do with my 3D lacquer, and I like it the best for ornaments, I've been playing with different ones, and this kind of seems to be a little bit stronger one. I just open the lid and I pour it all the way in. Not all the way, enough, a little bit at a time, and I kind of leave it pointed down. If you had a smaller container, that would probably be even better. And I wipe it onto my gourd a section at a time until I'm all the way around, and I let that dry, and that's going to take a little bit, maybe an hour or more, depending on your humidity and your weather as well. And then I want to make sure I at least put 2 to 3 coats on, because I want it protected. I want to make sure I didn't miss any with my first coat as well. And you don't want it sticky. You want to make sure that you get that nice and smooth, so don't go over it while it's wet. 3D is another product that we started to carry that I'm going to be using with all my Christmas ornaments and everything, and I plan on doing a lot of different ornament videos for you this year, so you can make fun, inexpensive ornaments in a matter of minutes. We literally did this one in a matter of minutes. Another thing that I did is I tied my raffia bows on top to give it a fall look. You could come in and just put a regular fall ribbon on it. I think the raffia is really cute if you really want that fall look. And so, but you could put a brown ribbon on it, I think would be really cute. Or we could put that type of bow on it there, which would really look pretty with the ribbon as well. So there's all kinds of things you can add to it to make it your own. So just think of things outside the box. Jump over to my website at miriamjoy.com, where we have a lot of the products up there for you to purchase, and you have the YouTube link where you can jump on over and see more of these wonderful videos that we're putting together for you today. We hope you have a blessed Thanksgiving.